Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to HemingwayLand.com, your source for quality, affordable land in the state of New Mexico. We have done it again. We have done the nearly next to impossible yet again one more time this year, which is we have acquired a 1-acre property in Tres Piedras Estates up there in Taos County. We managed to pull this off about a month ago. After trying for about a year, we managed to pull it off about a month ago. We got 2 adjacent half-acre lots that totaled 1 acre. That's what we have here again. That property was in Unit 1 and it sold in about 4 days. I was shocked that it even lasted that long. This new property I think is in an even better location, so I don't think it is long for the website, particularly based on how many phone calls and emails I get from people who want something this large out there. So nonetheless, very excited about this one. So let's get to it and discuss details. This is reference number TSNM-5413M as in Mary. As noted, it is a combination of 2 adjacent half-acre lots that total 1 acre. It's up there in Tres Piedras Estates, Unit 3, Block 119, lots Alpha and Bravo. And, we get the question a lot, why is it so difficult to get larger acreage out there? There's 2 reasons for it. Number 1 is that the whole subdivision is chopped up to quarter and half-acre lots. So there are no pieces of land out there that are larger than that, number 1. Number 2, the trick is not so much finding 2 adjacent property owners who want to sell. The trick is finding 2 adjacent property owners who can sell, which is my way of saying there's a lot of dead people who own land in Tres Piedras Estates. So this is an ideal lot for many reasons, but of course the size, the acreage is the big one. All right, guys, let's pull this up on a map, show you exactly where this is. As with all of our listings, come down here, click on the GPS coordinates, and it will bring it up on the Google Maps. So this week we're releasing a whole bunch of properties in Unit 3. All of Unit 3 are half-acre lots. And the nice thing about Unit 3 is that it sits in very close proximity to Highway 64. So this is nice for a couple reasons. Number 1 is that the entirety of this subdivision extends from down here to all the way up here. The further north and the further south you go, the harder the roads become to navigate. They're there. They exist. You can get through them if you try really hard. But when you're in an area like this, down here close to the highway, an area where, as you can see, there are a number of people who have built out here, there are a number of people who are camping or living out here. Obviously, these roads are traversed more often. They're more heavily trafficked, if you want to call it that, I guess. Which means the road conditions out here are a lot easier to actually get out to the subject property. Additionally, as you can see, these roads actually have names, which in itself is kind of spectacular. Anyway, so point being, easily accessible piece of property in most any vehicle type. And if you measure distance, you just want to get a sense of exactly how far this is to the 64. 3,700 feet. So about 3/4 of a mile, something like that, to get down there. So that's the first big thing about this property. The second one is that, as you can see here, well, first off, you've got power running all along the 64. That's number 1. So the closer you get to the 64, the easier it is to hook up power. More to the point, however, because you have so many people who have built out to this region, we can assume that the nearest power line, the nearest power pole hookup is not too far away. And actually, if you look where this property is, you can see that nearby you have some structures here that look to be actually pretty nice structures, I'm guessing, and particularly this one over here. So the nearest power lines are likely not far away. Of course, a lot of the neighbors out here tend to utilize solar power, but obviously somebody out there is going to have it. And the less distance it is for the power company to get it out to your lot, obviously the cheaper it becomes. So that is another nice thing about this property. Now, quick thing I just want to point out to you guys. So this property, a combination of the A lot, which would be right here, and the B lot, which would be right here. Blocks out here, so this is block, what is it, 119 or 110? 119. So blocks out here look a little something like this. They'd be a giant square like this, and half the properties are on this side and the other half are on this side. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J is how I believe the lots are plotted out. So point being, you have basically a corner lot right here. You have legal access on this side as well as this side. This looks more like a theoretical road, probably, but the point is it is a legal access point to the property. So essentially it's a corner lot. And if you want to get a sense of what exactly that looks like, come down here and just sort of click on this imagery. It'll give you a sense of what the property boundaries are for the lot. Now, with all that said, let's just talk about one of the major things that's nice about having a 1 acre lot out here, which is that it makes it easier to build on. Now, zoning law in Taos County is pretty laid back. That being said, there are statewide laws, particularly ones devised by the New Mexico Environmental Department, that supersede county zoning law. Or I should say county zoning law is uniformly adapted to these statewide laws. So one of them has to do with areas like this that are quote-unquote undeveloped, and we're defining undeveloped as there's no city utilities, there's no sewers out here on every street, there's no power lines running up and down every street. It's quote-unquote undeveloped. So because of that, if you want to buy a piece of land, you want to drill a well, and you want to put a septic system on it, it becomes not impossible to do on things that are under 3/4 of an acre. You can do it, but it just requires extra permitting, extra hoop jumping, etc. So when you have a 1 acre lot like this, it gives you the ability to do both of those things without having to go through the extra hassle or expense to accomplish them. So that's a big deal. Now, I'll quickly just point out that out here in Tres Piedras, the water table depth is actually pretty deep, so drilling a well is largely impractical. There are people who have them out here, but they're a little pricey. But the point is you can install a conventional septic system on this property, and that's, a big benefit when building out here. Now, of course, the other nice thing about properties in this area in general is that, as we say in the headline here on the listing page, these are all RV-friendly lots. Now, Taos County zoning says that you can only be out there for 180 days, parked indiscriminately, living out of your RV, camping, and whatnot. That being said, I don't think anybody keeps count. Number one. Number two, this area is one where you can actually, if you're looking to live a sort of off-grid lifestyle, tiny home, shipping container home, earthship home. Earthship homes are very popular out here. You're going to be able to do that in this region. So that is another huge benefit to the property. So if you're looking to do things like that, grow your own food, solar power, live off the grid, be by yourself away from people, this is something that you're going to be able to do in this region, which is something that you cannot say about a lot of parts of New Mexico. So that's one of the really enviable things about the subdivision. Now, of course, it goes without saying that one of the other really nice things is that you are in close proximity to Taos proper, about a 20-minute drive down the 64 here into Taos, as well as Taos Ski Valley. You're very close to that as well, so you can take advantage of all the great ski resorts that are out here, some of the best in America, as well as you have some nearby lakes over here in Rio Arriba County, such as the El Vado and Heron Lakes, and nearby Abiqui Lake. So it's a nice property to, even if you're only going to use it seasonally, if you're even going to go camp on it seasonally, you can take advantage of it in the spring and the summer and the fall and the winter. Blah, blah, blah. So a lot of nice advantages with this property, etc. Now, I will just have you guys know that, as with all of our listing pages, we have the link here to the master spreadsheet of all of our properties. Right now, we're premiering all of these in the next 24 hours, so they're currently marked coming soon. But this is the M property down here. We're going to have it linked here. You can click on that link, access this listing page that I'm on, bring it up here on the map with the GPS coordinates, etc., etc. This, of course, will be priced at $3,000. Finally, I just want to point out to you guys, if you have any questions about Tres Piedras Estates, I've been answering questions via email and phone call for over a year now about this area. Here on this page, we've compiled a list of the most frequently asked questions that we get about this region. I would highly encourage you, if you are interested in living out here and buying land out here, that you read through this. If you have any questions, most likely the answers are going to be on this page. These are pretty much the only questions that I get, and there's some pretty comprehensive answers for you here about that. So hopefully you can utilize that, take advantage of that. Again, this is on our master Tres Piedras listing page. All right, guys, so finally, if you want to purchase this property, come up here, click the Buy Now button. It's going to bring up a secure checkout form. Enter the name that you want on the deed, enter the tax address where Taos County is going to send the annual bill. Come down here, click the Next button, and on the next page you will enter credit or debit card information. Once you have paid us for the property, as far as we are concerned, it is yours to do with as you please. That being said, we have to write up a deed within 24 hours. We will get in touch with you. We will email you a copy of that. Once you say, yes, we spelled your name correctly, got your address right, we will autograph it, notarize it, and mail it off to the county to be recorded. Once the county records it, they will forward it on to you from start to finish. It's about a 3-week process. But again, once you give us money, we don't care what you do. You can go out there on the property, enjoy yourself, start building, start camping, start living, just start taking advantage of it. All right, guys. So I think that's all. If you have any further questions, anything that's not answered in the FAQ on that page, give us a call, 702-919-7170, or shoot us an email, support@hemingwayland.com. I will just note once again that the last time we listed one of these, it only lasted about 4 days. So my expectation is that this one will probably sell pretty quickly based on how many people call me about this all the time, number one, and number two, based on the fact that we are dramatically undercutting all of our competition with a mere $3,000 price tag on this. All right, guys, that's all for me. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.